West. If this is your first time on the channel, you are highly welcome. This is a place where we separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstition, and the concept from the misconceptions about African spirituality. Today, I want to touch on a very controversial subject. This is the relationship or the difference between African traditional systems and African spirituality. What is the difference between African tradition and African spirituality, and how to be able to separate the two, and how to know exactly what you are practicing. This is a very hot topic on the internet, especially on YouTube. Many people have been putting their 1 or 2 cents into the issue. I have also touched on this issue on some of my previous videos, but I didn't really go into details. There are sometimes we kind of overskip things. Something you have been practicing all the time, you assume that everybody know it or everybody should know it, but you will discover that some people still are not getting it. So from time to time, we need to retouch on those issues. In Africa, you will discover that we have what they call ATR, African Traditional Religions. These are the sort of the spiritual practices that ancient Africans have been practicing since time immemorial. So they are kind of been grouped into a religion. This religious grouping was actually as a result of Western categorization, due to the fact that they have religion and we have spirituality, but many of them don't understand that spirituality is different from religion. So they just kind of sort of group everything together. Okay, these people, they are practicing animistic system, they're venerating nature, water elements, lands, and trees. We just say, okay, this is their own religion. Religion is, according to the definition, is a system of control, guided control. They believe in a higher deity that is not always natural, something that was created by men and for other men for the purpose of enslaving other men. Spirituality, on the other hand, is the veneration of natural elements, and it doesn't necessarily involve a middleman. All religions have middlemen. Yeah, they kind of have somebody that you need to go before you get to the source. Christianity have Jesus as the middleman. I am the way, truth, and life. Nobody comes to the Father except that is their middleman they pray to. They believe that their God is too big and too mean or too wicked or too powerful for them to go to him directly. So they have to go through his middleman, and the pastor will manage that middleman for them. Islam to have their own middleman, their founder, Muhammad. You have to go through him before you get to Allah. Buddhism have Buddha, that is their own middleman, or Hinduism have Krishna, that is their own middleman. African spirituality does not have any middleman. That is one thing you're going to find out. Anybody that is telling you that they are a guru, a special guru, you have to go through them before you get in touch with any spirits. That person, sorry to say, is excuse me, please. That person is kind of trying to micromanage your spirituality. So if you find anybody that is calling himself a don or a guru or a very powerful babalawo that you, like a godfather, in a way that without their help or through them, you cannot really get in touch with your spirituality, that is the first red flag you need to know. You should run from that person. If you go online today, especially on Facebook, you will see these so-called gurus and babas and babalawos telling you that they are the fully initiated, they have this bloodline from the beginning of time. Only them have the right blood to be able to talk to the spirits, that you need to go through them. There are so many of them on the internet that we put all sort of scary traditional stuff on their channel. They will be showing you pictures of scary shrine how they are doing some kind of deep fetish, dirty stuff, everything to put fear into you, to let you know that they are the original practitioners. For me, that is the fraudulent practice. And anybody that is pushing that kind of perspective, you should be able to run away from that person. Okay? So we don't have middleman. We have African tradition. We have African spirituality. What is the difference? African tradition, or we say definition of tradition, is simply the transmission of customs, way of life, belief system of a people from one generation to another. This is where you get the basic knowledge of the people. Customs or traditions involve the language, eating habits, dressing habits, living habits, laws of how they interrelate, how they interact, how they marry, how they moral laws, how they live by their code of living. These are just set of codes that people live by, that is transmitted from generation to generation. From this code, you can be able to identify that this is so and so people. You say, okay, this is a Shekiri people, this is the way they behave, this is Urobo people, this is Yoruba people, this is Yoruba tradition. It's a group of tenets that is have been generally accepted by a group of people said that agree that this is the way we are going to be living by. This is going to be our way of life. This is the laws that will be guiding our interrelationship with each other. Everybody agree to it. It now becomes their tradition. Okay. So then what is spirituality? Spirituality is simply the belief in a higher power or a supernatural essence or a way, a certain set of codes of communicating with the unseen or with a higher essence that you believe that is guiding your way of living or your way of doing things or your way of interacting with nature or living in harmony with nature. So spirituality is different from tradition, okay? But spirituality of a people kind of interwove into the traditional fabrics of the people in a way. So nowadays, many people practice African tradition. They think that they are practicing African spirituality, which is not the case. There's a big difference between African spirituality and African tradition. When we're talking about African spirituality, we are talking about the deities that we believe to exist in Africa. We are talking about unseen deities or elemental deities or immaterial deities. We are talking about the belief that we have this family of a higher power of spirits that are guiding and protecting the African people from time immemorial. We are talking about those people, those elements, those factors, and those very, very things are totally different from tradition. Okay, they are different from tradition. So, when we come to African spirituality, we tend to dwell on those very aspects which involve ancestral veneration and which involve the study of the underlying principles of nature, principles of the building blocks of life. By this, we mean the fundamental elements of life, which are basically made up of the five elements of water, fire, air, earth, and of course, spirit. Those five elements you're going to find as the basic principle of every spirituality. And we try to interact with the immaterial consciousness of those elements. And we try to flow with them to understand the building or binding blocks of them and learn how to live in harmony with them. So African spirituality is different from the tradition. So you should know what you are practicing. Nowadays, I discovered that many people practice African tradition. They don't really know much about the spirituality. They don't practice African spirituality. They are thinking the tradition is the spirituality. That is the problem. Hi, Nathaniel. Welcome to the live chat. Very happy to see you here. It's a pleasure. You are welcome. So, you need to be able to discern what is African tradition and what is African spirituality. So you should know this will help you to be very, very well vested in your practice. So that is what I tend to do on this channel. If you notice, the name of my channel is Afro Scientific Spirituality because it's a short form of Africa Scientific Spirituality. My main focus is not on African tradition. I don't talk about African tradition. I don't talk about the customs. I focus mainly on the spirituality. That's why I call it African spirituality. So you need to know this focus because that is what we are after. Tradition, every set of people in the world have their own tradition. Every tribe have their tradition. As a man or as a human being, you can go to any place, you visit people. They say when you go to Rome, you behave like the Romans. Somebody like I travel a lot. I've been to many places. When I go to a certain country, I respect their tradition, the way the things they like, I do what they like, I don't do what they don't like. I do everything according to the way they want it so that you don't have problem with them. You adapt. You have to do that. You come to Africa, you do things according to their tradition. You go to Europe, you do things according to their tradition. It is not their spirituality. So you can be in a certain country, you obey the laws of that country. You do as they say, you pay your taxes, but your spirituality cannot change. Your spirituality still remains you. Nobody can say you must practice our spirituality. You must do exactly, go to our church or you must go to our mosque. You must do it exactly the same. Nobody will, in most cases, they will not force you. There are a few places that we want to force you to do that. In ancient time past, they used to force people. The way Christianity was brought on Africa, it was forced. And it came with deceit, many lies and promises. According to Kenyatta from Kenya, he said that the white man brought the Bible. When the white people come, we have the land. When they gave us the Bible, they taught us how to pray. When we open our eye, they have the land and we have the Bible. So you see how they bring their fake spirituality to upsell, to take things from you. So you need to make sure that your spirituality remains the same. Doesn't matter. So tradition does not matter to me. I see many people coming to African spirituality that they want to practice African spirituality, but they're actually practicing African tradition. And these people have been practicing this so-called tradition for long. They think that they are practicing African spirituality, and it is not working for them. They will say, but I practice African spirituality. I wake up, I do this, I dress, how come it's not working? They are not practicing it well. So they are practicing the wrong thing. That is why it is not working for them. Okay. So you need to know this very thing that there's a great difference between African spirituality. If you go and be wearing African clothes or try to speak African language, try to behave African, eat African food, that is it's a good thing. You're promoting the tradition, promoting the culture, but it is still not the real thing. It is still not enough. The real thing is in actually getting your hands dirty, actually setting the altars, trying to know the deities, trying to call the deities, trying to give offering to the deities, trying to learn spell works. That is the spirituality. That is what you need to be doing. But many people are afraid of this very thing. They believe that a group of people have the capacity to do those very things. Some also are under the belief that for you to be doing those things, you have to be initiated into African spirituality. And sadly enough, there are many practitioners that have been pushing this initiation, how will I say, fraud or scam or something. I don't know that before you practice African spirituality, you have to be initiated into a tradition. If you are not initiated, you cannot fully practice African spirituality. I have always begged to differ that that is a very, very wrong thing. And if I call it a lie, I, it is not an understatement. For an African or for somebody that is very, very much connected to Africa, what you really need is your dedication. If you want to practice African spirituality, your commitment. You don't really need to be initiated to most of the African traditions. I don't think you need to be initiated into maybe you want to join a group of people, you just want to belong to a shrine or a community. You want to socialize. Maybe you need that. You need it. You just. But if you really want to practice this stuff, you don't need initiation. What you need is your dedication, attention, and study. That is what you really need. So for tradition, you might need to be initiated. You want to join a village, you want to join a clan, you want to get what they call a chieftaincy title that I have gotten. I'm recognized by this village from Africa. This certificate say that I am the king of so so so. I am the chief of so so so. I am the hero of so 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 and so. I want to get this piece of paper from this community. Maybe you need to be initiated. But if you sincerely want to practice African spirituality from the bottom of your heart, you don't need that. I have done a video about this, how to initiate yourself into African spirituality. And the word initiation simply means to begin, to start something. It's just a little ceremony to signify that from today go, I'm going to be studying this very thing, nothing more, nothing less. So you should not be interested in the initiation. What we are interested in is your graduation. Do you really know what you are practicing? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the skill? Do you have the capacity to do certain things? That is what we should be focusing on. You acquiring the skill, not begin. Anybody can start something, but not many people can finish what they started. Once you start the race, can you finish it? Many people come to me that they want to study African spirituality. I tell them exactly the same thing. Starting is not the issue. It is the race that matters, the continuation. I tell them and I give them all the same foundation. Some proceed, some fall out of the way. It's not for everybody. So African spirituality is different from this tradition. And who can practice African tradition? Anybody can practice African tradition. Everybody is free to practice any sort of tradition. If you come to Africa, of course, you have to abide by the laws of the community you are living in. You want to promote the culture, you are welcome. When we travel, we live according to the tradition of people we come in contact with. Anybody, whether you're white, black, blue, red, yellow, you are an adult, you are free to adopt the customs, traditions, and even the spirituality of anybody you want to, any part of the world. You are very free. Nobody have a right to say, oh, you are of the wrong color. You cannot practice this. You cannot practice that. You cannot. Nobody really have that right. If a white man from Iceland or Norway say they want to practice and study African spirituality, nobody have is adult. I don't believe anybody have a right to say they cannot practice it. I cannot say we will welcome you. Well, you are welcome. We'll try to see what we can do for you. Or if you are here to promote the tradition, to sincerely learn, there are people that will be always teaching you. The same thing, black people, we have many black people that have adopted the cultures and tradition and spirituality of other people. Nobody is questioning them. We have so many black Christians. We have so many Negropians all over the world. So we don't really can have authority to say this person must practice this person cannot practice this. In my own view, I don't see anything wrong with it. So for me, it's a very good thing. I even want more and more white people to practice African spirituality. I even want more of them to practice African religion because for me, it's a good thing. It's a good thing economically. When they practice African tradition, they wear African clothes, they eat African food, they promote African culture. It brings money. You sell your culture, it brings money to the continent. It's a very good thing. So we cannot be gatekeeping people. You gatekeeping people, you are shortchanging yourself. So I believe it's a very good thing for foreigners, especially white people, to come into African spirituality and to learn the tradition. You need to sell your culture, sell your language. That is how people grow, promote your things. The more people that come in, the more influence you have, the more popularity, the more fine. It's a good thing for business, a good thing for Africa. So I don't see why some practitioners are saying that we should not allow people to practice this. If they see a white person doing braids, they will be shouting. I don't know what is wrong. What about the black people that are buying weave on, the black women that cannot do without weave on their head? Is that not a cultural vulture? Well, but the white people are not saying anything. They are making money from our women that are feeling inferior, that are always buying this attachment. We've won. African women spend billions of dollars every year to buy attachments on their natural hair just to look like European women. What are we going to call that? For me, that is a very bad thing. I'm not happy with this situation, but I cannot say anything about it. The women say they must wear European women hair to look beautiful, and nobody can stop them. It's a big problem in Africa. If you are dating a woman, especially in Nigeria, you have to be giving her money for fake hair every month. Many Nigerian men have to put up with these shits that African women are doing. They feel inferior to their natural hair every month, and the money they spend on this hair are very, very expensive, very, very outrageous. To be putting European hair on their heads just to look beautiful, that is a very wrong thing, but there's nothing we can do about it, or we just need to keep talking. So when you see white women doing braids, I don't know. It's like they are exchanging. I don't know. Some people are taking this culture. Some people are switching to this other culture. It's called cultural assimilation. So this is a trend, and we should learn to live with it. So for people coming into African spirituality, I welcome them. It's a very a good thing for Africa, and a good thing for the rest of the world. Besides, African culture is very close to nature. It's very, very eco-friendly, and it's more natural way of living. So the people should come to practice African tradition. It's a good thing for the continent. We should welcome them. That is the way I see this thing. Then for African spirituality, that is the problem. We see this trend of many foreigners coming to African spirituality. Um, some of them have ulterior motive to make money from the stuff, and to try to see what kind of power they can get, and also to kind of see how they can use it against African people in a way, to see if there's anything hidden, any kind, so that they can use it to maintain white supremacy. But it doesn't work out well for those kind of people. So we still cannot stop people from not practicing African spirituality. I teach African spirituality. This is my own view. There are some black people that don't teach it to white people. They say due to the what have happened between Europe and Africa, there are some black people that don't want to even see any white person in African spirituality circles. But believe it or not, we are all children of Africa. So I believe any white person that want to practice African spirituality have a right to practice it. We cannot really discriminate or say, no, you cannot practice. That is a very wrong thing. We have to welcome them. If they are really sincere, they're coming with good intentions, I believe they will get the good things from inside. The spirits are going to welcome them and teach them. But if they're coming with bad intentions, they will also reap the rewards of it. So it is not a thing of color. If you check African spiritual patterns, I have encountered spirits from African origin. Some of them are white. You will be shocked. if I tell people about these things, that we have some native African spirits that are also white in their appearance, you will wonder how come. But we have all sorts of spirits in Africa. We have all sorts of spirits. So there are some white people that feel very, very strong connection to Africa. And I also believe in reincarnation across race lines. Many people, you don't only reincarnate into your race. I disagree with that. We reincarnate across race lines. So a black person can reincarnate as a white person. A white person can also come back as a black person. So it depends on your spirit and the lessons you have to learn in life. So African spirituality should be open to everybody. If you want to help people, you should help white, black. You should not look at color. Me, I don't look at color. I teach African spirituality. People come to me for spell works, Africans, Indians, any people from all parts of the world. I treat everybody the same. I don't look, people that I teach, I don't look myself higher above them. I never do that. I teach my students, I look them as my equals, because I know that we are all here to learn, and what they just need is a guide. Many of my students, to be honest, they are older than me, different ages. I don't treat them that because right now I have more knowledge than you. Then I'm supposed to be like a guru and give this higher than tall posture. I don't do that, and I think that is a very wrong way to go. To feel that you are superior to people that they are lesser human beings. No, 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 no. That is a wrong way to go. I approach them the same way. I treat them exactly the way they present themselves. And so far, that is the way I work. People that know me knows that that is the way I operate a open door policy, and I give you the tools, then you walk the paths. So what I've done my job, then I try to step away and let you begin to get experience and gather experience and go. The only difference between the master and the teacher is experience. And guess what? The master have failed more times than the students. So he knows all the loopholes and he knows all the mistakes that you are going to make. So one day the master is going to become the student. That is how life is. So it's a great circle. You need to understand this circle and you flow with the circle. So another thing, like, when you see some spiritualists that are trying to feel superior or higher or trying to place themselves higher, that they are next to God or they are next to the deity, they are child of this deity, that is one of the things that turns me off. It gets me upset. When you see a person trying to put themselves on a pedestal, you should know that this is a red flag. This is a red flag. Then you should think of finding your way. Most times it will not end well between you and that person. Okay. So when you see somebody trying to force you to initiate you, you should also be careful. Initiation is a very big fraud. Most of these white people, they are the ones that are very big on initiation. You must be, before they teach you anything, you must be initiated. You must be initiated. They'll be calling money $5,000, $10,000. For me, it's not necessary. But people fall for these kind of things, and you need to know that spirits, they don't really discriminate. They are not racist. So far, all the spirits I've been making contact with in African spirituality, they are not racist spirits. Wow, Nico, welcome. New Thought Creation, welcome. Nice to see you on the live chat. I'm talking about the difference between African tradition and African spirituality. If you have questions, please ask your questions. So if I see them, I will answer. Okay. So far, I've never seen any racist African spirit. True that we say that we not work for this person, they will not talk to this person because this person is white. I have never seen that yet. And one funny thing that at my own African, I have seen this very thing. So there are some things we cannot explain. All waters across the. I asked this question to one of my spiritual gods. Well, many spiritualists, I don't know if they have seen this, but me, I have seen this very thing. I have noticed. So the issue of spirits that I've not seen any African spirit that is saying that they are racist. I've not seen it here too. So I don't believe in gatekeeping. That we should say people of certain color should not practice. That is a very, very, very wrong thing, in my opinion, and that is not the way to go. Okay, if you want to talk of evil, we have many black people that are very, very bad people. If you see Africa today, you see the way our leaders, the kind of nonsense they are doing. You will know that black people also have capacity for doing grave evil. In fact, most of the suffering we have now in Africa is not because of white people. It is black people that are perpetrating this evil against other black people. I can show you a lot of cases of things that are happening. You see black leaders, these are people that you're supposed to render service to your people. You'll be the one killing your own people. They will give you money to do development projects. They will embezzle the money. They will not do roads. They will not build schools. They will not provide security. Instead, they will be doing the opposite. You come to a place like Nigeria, you will see so many bad things going. You will not see one white person in sight. It is black people that is committing all this evil. Black people like me and you from Africa that are doing this evil, that are stealing the resources, that are killing their people. You will see situation where governments are terrorists, when your president, your governor is a terrorist, is sending people to kidnap his own citizen, then it will use his to pay ransom. When you see the kind of evil that are going on in Africa right now, you go to a place like Cameroon, when you see that a man has been in power for more than 40 years, there's no development in that country. People are crying, he's killing his own people. It's not a white person doing all these things. You see a lot of evils going on in Africa. You will not see, and this is not white people doing these things. You see a lot of pastors, scammers that are saying that they drink tea with God every day. They eat with God. A lot of religious houses defrauding people, keep lying, doing all sorts of evil in the continent. These are not white people doing all this evil. It's black people like me and you that are doing this kind of grave evil. You'll be shocked. Many of my friends in America, I know that you love Africa better. Most of you cannot come to Africa today. There are many places you cannot that are not safe. That immediately you set your foot, your own black man will kill you instantly and take whatever they can take from you. You'll be shocked. There are places like this. It's not supposed to be like that. You come online, you meet a black person like you. He claims to be a spiritualist. The next thing, the person want to scam you and take all your money from you. It's not supposed to be like this. It's not the white man doing all these things. It's black people like me and you that are doing all these things. So how come we're saying that we'll be discriminating? So many evil people in Africa that are black, that are the same black people like doing bad things during slave trade. How was it so successful? There were kingdoms that were cashing other black people and selling them as slaves. We have records of all these kingdoms. The black people, it was the same black people like me and you. They were cashing and actively selling their brothers and sisters to the Europeans, to the Arabs. We know all these people. It was not just white people did not come. They did this for thousands of years. They were doing this. They think that, oh, we're going to be strong forever. These people are weak people. We can make money from them. They don't matter to us. They are not from our tribe. So we can sell them into slavery. Some black kingdoms were involved. I don't want to mention names on this channel, but if you do your research, you will know. So it's not all about white people doing this. The white man did this to me. The white man did that to me. There are good people and bad people in every race. So it should not be a white and black thing that African spirituality should be only for black people. Even in so many African spirituality houses, you go there today, what you will see, you cannot explain. Immediately you go there for a problem, they will multiply your problem by 100. You will start paying money. You will run away from the house. I have seen people that have come to African spirituality. They have been scammed to the bone. They run away from African spirituality. Part of the reason I advise people that you want to practice this thing, you actually have to learn it by yourself so that you can be able to have a direct relationship, a direct contact with the deities. That is why I try to tell people this. What you need at the beginning time is guides. people that will guide you, tell you how to do this, how to do that, how to do that, to put you on the right path. Then you start on your feet, you start running. So for somebody to say that they will be interceding for you for 20 years, 10 years, for me, that is a wrong thing. You will never grow. You can never grow if you're always looking up to somebody to solve your problems. You're always looking any little thing, you have to run to this person. Without that person, you cannot do anything. How can you grow as a human being? How can you be able to get on your feet? It's not possible. So you need to learn this stuff by yourself so that you can be able to stand on your feet one day and become like a pillar that will be teaching other people, empowering other people, encouraging other people. That is how we grow. That is how we rise as a nation. I used to tell people this, that if you are the only rich man in your village, you are failed as a human being. If you are the only one that have a car in your family or have a car in your village, you are failed. Because anything happen to you, there's nobody will have any car. You have to think of how to empower other people so that they can have their own cars, and all of you can do more things. That your one car you say you have, you be strain on everybody we want to. You cannot use it to carry everybody. You cannot use it to work for everybody, and you have a lot of enemies. Everybody will be envying you. But if many people have cars, they will have other eyes to be setting on. Nobody will just be focused on you. So you have to think of how to empower other people so that you people can be many and the load will be less for you. Okay, so please, we need to look at this from this perspective. And African spirituality, we should not discriminate that it should be for only a certain race of people. We should not look at it that way. That is the way I see it too. Please. And African spirituality is different from the tradition. Like me, I don't consider myself as a traditionalist. I consider myself as a spiritual scientist. Because if I follow the tenets of many traditions, I will not, based on my lifestyle and based on this current situation, this modern world situation that we are living now, I cannot be able to practice African spirituality effectively if I follow the tradition. Many traditions say for you to practice African spirituality, you must have a dedicated altar. You must be there every week. You must do this every week. You must do like this. You must eat in a certain way, dress in a certain way. Many people, many traditionalists, they don't ask questions. They just do what they are told. The way my father did it, this is the way I'm going to be doing it. This is the way they said I will be doing it. This stone must always be stand upright. I cannot turn the stone backward. I cannot put the stone down. I must always do it like this because I have been told to do it like this from the beginning of time. They are not going to ask, why is it always like this? They don't ask questions. So as a result of this kind of limits their knowledge of African spirituality. It retards it in the sense that they don't think of how to develop new journalists. I consider myself as a spiritual scientist. So some of my techniques are a little bit different from the way traditionalists practice. There are some things that I learn, and when I go to traditionalists, I have friends that are traditionalists. I ask them a lot of questions. Sometimes I get angry because I want to learn. Why is this here? I want to know why is this here? What does this represent? When I go to shrine, I observe a lot. I look a lot. I take pictures. I take notes. I ask questions. Why do we have to do this in the morning? Why do we have to do this in the junction? Why do we have to include this? I ask all these questions. I encourage you as a practitioner to also ask questions. That is how you know. When you know the meaning of something, you say, okay, so this is like this. I can substitute this for this. They have the same quality. They have the same value. They have the same representation. If I don't have this ingredient or this herb, I can use another herb in its place. It will still work. You need to be asking all these questions. You need to say, okay, for somebody like me, I travel a lot. I don't have a fixed altar. I travel to different places. When I get to a new place, okay, I cannot practice my spirituality. I don't have enough. I can be able to know, okay, I need to get this CG, I need to get this symbol, I need to do this, I need to set up something, I need to put it in place, and I need to go. You need to know how to do all these things so that you can adapt it, incorporate it into your lifestyle. Now, if I follow typical tradition, probably I will not be living the kind of life I am living today. I'll be so limited in my knowledge. I'll so limited in my advancements. And this is one of the dangers of traditional spiritual practice. Why tradition is good in a way that it preserves the culture from meeting these traditionalist people. You can see how this thing has been done time immemorial. You can appreciate it. It brings people together. It is like glue for gluing the community, for gluing the society, a kind of rallying point. There's a lot of ceremonies. Anytime they want to do any kind of a ritual, it's a ceremony. People gather, people come together, they talk, they eat, they drink, they feel happy. A lot of ceremonies involved for people to bring in societies together. So it's also good in that way for uniting people. But the science, you need to know where the ceremony ends and where the science begins. Okay? So you need to know what is important. So when you want to practice, you say, okay, I don't want to invite people, or I don't have many people here. What do I need to do to make this thing work? You can be able to do that thing. And it will still work without the ceremony. You see the difference? Now, traditional people that will tell you there must always be a ceremony. Without a ceremony, this is not going to work. Even many traditionalists, they don't even know this very thing I'm talking about. They have not seen it this way. They have not even thought about it like this in a way that you can still be able to do things without having some other things involved. So you need to know this, that there's a big difference between tradition, there's a big difference between spirituality. And for the African spirituality, if a foreigner comes in, a white person that says they wants to learn, if you can teach them, you teach them. If the spirit is with them, they will get it. If it's not something they are supposed to do, they will still get it. If they come to you for help, that they need help with this, you help the person. The more people you help, the more light you share, the more it also brings more positivity and goodness to your own life as well. So we should not be turning people back because they don't have the right color. There are people that they acknowledge. I've seen white people that acknowledge that my ancestors did very bad things. We are sorry. We want to change. Are you going to still turn them back? When people can change, some people change, some people don't change. If you see good people that are saying they want to help Africa, what can we do to solve this situation? This have happened. What can we do to atone, to amend? You welcome them. They say we still have a lot of problems. You welcome them. You don't turn them back. People that want to join, people that are white people that are in Africa trying to do charitable work, risking their life, even trying to go after these bad people that are stealing money, causing war. Are you going to say that you are going to turn them back because they have the wrong color? People that are fighting these racist white supremacists, are you going to say you are going to block them out because they have the wrong color? It's not sensible to do that kind of thing. So that is the way I see it. My own brand of African spirituality, it is not the conventional one that some traditional approach, the way they take it, the way some people take it that this should be for only black people, we should do this, we should do that. It is a way for getting back at them for what they did to us. I am not going for the way of revenge, and I'm not going to live my life in hatred or in bitterness. What has happened has happened. What can we do to move forward? This is what I'm doing. This is part of the reason for this YouTube channel. How can we heal as a people? How can we retrace our past roots, and how can we rediscover our lost knowledge, our lost spirituality? Then how can we use this knowledge to move forward? That is what I am after. I'm not going to trap myself in the emotion of hate and bitterness. The white man did this to me. The white man is responsible. They did this, they did this, they did this, they did this. So therefore I must be like this. So therefore I must be. No, I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that one. I will move forward and I will see what I can do to solve the situation. This is a position I take, and this is a position I have always taken, and this is a position I will continue to take with this issue. So we have to move forward as a people. There are many black people that are traitors in Africa. Those are the people we need to be concentrating on. Very soon I will start going into political topics because I see so many things that is going wrong, and it pains me, especially with the black issue. We need to focus on our own issues. We need to start calling these people hearts and exposing them for what they are really doing. So I'm not interested in talking about white people. Once we begin to solve our own problems, those people, they are the ones that will come and say, okay, we want to pay our reparations. We see what you people are doing. So I'm not going to be going after them. And for us that are practicing African spirituality, we need to know the difference between tradition and the spirituality and focus more on the spirituality, not on the tradition. Traditions, you can practice any tradition from anywhere, any place you go to. Everybody have their own tradition. You just live according to the way they live. But your spirituality needs to be unique. Your spirituality needs to be authentic. Your spirituality needs to be a spirituality of empowerment. It needs to be a spirituality of liberation, a spirituality of freedom. Any spirituality that you are practicing that is putting you under a yoke, either financial strain, that you have to be paying money all the time, under a burden of yoke to make you feel guilty all the time, that you are guilty, you are not worthy, you are born in original sin, is by their grace, grace of one dirty God, that you are who you are. That is not a good spirituality, that feel you are less than human, you are subhuman. That is a very, very bad thing, a stupid thing to teach your children. That spirituality is wrong. Any spirituality that is telling you that you need a middleman, that without this middleman you cannot practice, that is a scam, a criminality, a thief. Anybody that says there is a savior, that you have to go through them before you go to God, that savior is a thief. It's a bastard. Okay? Any spirituality you are practicing should be a spirituality that will fully liberate you, that will fully empower you, that will teach you about your history, your way of life, so you know the footstep of your people, so you know who you are as a human being, as an African. Anybody coming into African spirituality must know African history so that they can be able to see the world with the eyes of an African. You must know your history. You cannot escape it. You must know who you are. I always tell everybody, this is the first thing you need to do to be able to get the full benefit of what you are practicing. And you need to always aspire to become your own practitioner. You need to aspire to empower yourself. You need to be doing spells by yourself so that you can get experience from this stuff. Somebody cannot be doing things for you all the time, and then you complain that this person is always taking money from you, money. Some people are saying that some spiritualists always asking money. Of course, how will they not ask money from you when you don't want to do these things by yourself? Because you don't want to lend them, you have to pay for their time. Some people will ask you, we keep paying money again and again and again if you don't want to learn this stuff. So I don't have anything to say. So I tell you, you need to create time. Time, some people will say they don't have time. Okay, if you don't have time, me, I have time. You pay me for my time. I will still do the thing for you if it's good enough. And you have to know all these things. So please, you really want to learn this stuff, try to separate tradition, spirituality, and try to see how you can be able to be able to discern the difference about spirituality that empowers you and spirituality that enslaves you. Okay, so tradition is good, and anybody that want to practice African spirituality or tradition, we should welcome them. We should not turn them out. It's a good thing for Africa. I'd rather people practice African spirituality than people practice Christianity or Islam. I'd rather people practice this one because it's way of spreading it around the world. So I don't see why we should be discriminating. Okay, so this is my take, my 2 cents on this issue. If you have any question, you can ask, and I'm very happy that I have this time to share this knowledge with you. For those of you that are interested in taking your spiritual practice to the next level, I have this website, www.kindoki.net. Please try to register there. I have done a lot of videos there. You can learn how to do this thing, and practice make perfect. And I've also written a book on the interrelationship between the evil forest and negative space. in quantum physics and African spirituality. I also sell that book. You can buy that book. I have a lot of scientific information that I was able to compile in that book to back the validity of African spirituality. So you can get it and you can read it. A lot of empowering information on there. And I also do spell work for people, spell work, oracle reading, or divination. I do that for people as well. So that is part of my things I do and part of my own contribution to the upliftment, emancipation of our African people. This is my own contribution to it, and I'm very proud that I am part of this movement. For those people that are interested in my work, you can also support me. You can donate to me. I need help, as you know, to keep doing this work. You can donate if you want to support me. I have a PayPal, and any way you want to donate moral support. And a lot of people have been helping me. I have good people like Sister Nicole, people like Nathaniel. They have been helping me. Sister Nicole is the one that helped me to do my website, Kindoki. She gave me that website for free. She has been supporting me very, very well. I'm very grateful to her. I have good people that have been I'm thanking them very much. People like Nathaniel and Kelly. I'm very grateful. We need to come together to be doing this very work to move this knowledge forward, to get understanding. We need to know what we are practicing in African spirituality. So I encourage you people to ask questions. Anytime you go to any of these places, ask questions or try to ask the native doctor to know why we doing things so that we can know how to move it forward. One thing that is killing African spirituality is secrecy. There is too much secrecy in African spirituality, and so much knowledge has been hidden and they have been lost. You will see somebody that will know something, but they will not tell anybody. They will not want to share the knowledge. So there is too much secrecy. And this secrecy is what is breeding these scams and frauds that we see in African spirituality, because people don't really know it, and so it's easy for them to scam people. But if we expose it like the way we are talking about it now, we are actually digging into the practice. We now know what is actually happening. It will be difficult to deceive people. When you bring light to the subject, there's no more darkness. Everybody will see it and understand it clearly, so people cannot be easily defrauded. So too much secrecy is inside, it's killing it, it's making people run from the practice. People are afraid. But if we bring light into it, we talk about it in public, we expose it, we talk about the deities, the spirits, people know all this stuff, there will be more liberation. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. And that is what we're doing as Africans. So we should talk about this more and bring light to the subject and bring more understanding to the subject. So I'm very happy that we are here learning about this, and hopefully when we get this knowledge, we make sure that we teach it to the next generation, we teach it to our children, to people that will be willing to learn, so that they will not make the mistake our parents make, the mistake that many of them were deceived into going to church. Many of them were forced to drop their spirituality, to call it evil, whereby we have now been hoodwinked. We are not the ones suffering the world. If you see other places, Indians were colonized, Chinese were colonized, they did not throw away their native spirituality. You see the way they are progressing. It's only African people that were successfully colonized to wholesomely drop their African spirituality and see where they are today. So we need to connect back, and it's not through secrecy. We connect by exposing it, bringing enlightenment to the issue, bringing everything to light. That is how we can grow. So for those practitioners that are still hiding it in secrecy, many of you are going to die with your secrets. Many of them, if you see many of these people, many of them are really suffering. But God has given you talents, but you bury your talents. Your talent that is supposed to you spread and will bring fruits. That talent, you bury it, you hide it, that you don't want anybody to know. What will happen? You will die with it. So when I come across this set of people, I don't really know what to say to them. I don't know what to say to them. So those people, they will die with their talents and with their gifts if you don't use them. So if you know that you have talents, some of us are being called to this work, but they are ashamed. I've seen people that they have this kind of gift to become teachers and practitioners, but they are ashamed of African spirituality. They are ashamed that people will laugh at them, that they are doing this. They want to hide it. They are not proud. So those people, you will miss your life. You will not live your life to the fullest. You are going to die living half life. So if you know that you are being called to this work, you see the day it is coming to you, you keep chasing them away. You see spirit, the plants, they talk to you, elements talk to you, you keep ignoring them. It's yourself you are doing. If you are ashamed to identify, do the work that you will be the one that will lose out of the whole thing. So another person will take your place quite naturally, and then you will left behind. So if you know you have talents, please start your own. Don't be afraid to start your own practice. Don't be afraid to open your YouTube channel. Don't be afraid to show yourself on camera. Don't be afraid to talk about it publicly. Live your life, live your truth, and you will see the blessing. Before I opened this channel, I've been practicing for many years. Then I have the WhatsApp group for about 4 years. But one day the spirit said, "Say you know so much, and that you need to come outside to the public." They pushed me out, and since then, that bring more happiness to my life. Since I started this channel, I have made a lot of friends all over the world. I have had a lot of people contact me. Most things that I could not do, I have been able to do it, and it has brought a blessing to my life as well. So I happy now. This channel is one of my passion, and I look at for many years I have avoided this. I don't want people to see my face. I don't want people to know that I practice African spirituality. I was in secret. Nobody know me. I just live within my own tiny circle. But when I come out in the front and start talking, even other practitioners, they are also here too. We are learning together. They are also supporting me. So please, if you have these talents, don't be afraid to come outside. Come out confidently. Speak your truth. You'll be surprised or you'll be shocked of what will happen, what the blessings and things that you're going to see. Okay, so don't hide your talent anymore. Don't hide it. Talk, just go with the flow. So please, this is not time for hiding now. Okay, so this is my own 2 cents on the issue, and very happy for the support and the attention and that I've been getting, and people that have been blessed by this channel. I pray only for the ancestors to give me more strength, more wisdom, and to show me more things so that I can be able to be bringing it out, so that we can be learning this stuff and we grow together. And that is all about life, and live and enjoy life. So this is the topic for today, and I'm very happy. Questions or comments, once again, are always welcome. Put them on the comment section. Please like and share this video. Always like and share. Help me to share so that more people can know about this. People that are looking for better understanding, instead of going to those places where they're going to defraud them, forcing them to initiate those babalaos on Facebook that are putting scary images. So without those scary images, you cannot practice African spirituality. I don't know. Tell them, here we talk about the issue. If you have questions about African spirituality, please ask the questions on the comment section. If I know about the thing, I will talk about it. If I don't know, I will get more knowledge. We'll talk about it. We'll get answers. We grow together. So please, let's be doing it like this. So with that being said, this is what I have for you today, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. I wish you guys a very wonderful day, and take care and God bless. Peace.